GTA 5 came out in 2013 on PS3 and Xbox 360. This was also the same year Star Wars and EA Games announced their exclusivity deal. Feel old yet? With recent news of Star Wars now breaking away from EA Games and forming Lucasfilm Games, yeah, I know why it isn't just called LucasArts. I don't know, but anyway, I'm here today to look back over the three main titles of the EA Star Wars partnership. Star Wars Battlefront 2, Jedi Fallen Order, and Star Wars Squadrons. So grab some Jabba Juice and listen to me take you through the highs and lows of the past near 10 years of being a Star Wars video game fan. Star Wars Battlefront 1, the original, released in September 2004. It was a new type of Star Wars game where you played all of the greatest hits from the movies, but what made this game resonate with players at the time was the durability of the gameplay, going from space battles to on foot with every other level. Not only were players able to play as cannon fodder stormtroopers and rebels, but players could also play as their favourite heroes from Luke Skywalker to Darth Maul, to help turn the tide of war. Originally, Battlefront and its sequel Battlefront 2, released a year later, are considered some of the best Star Wars games ever made, up there with Knights of the Old Republic and Republic Commando. And just side note, please give me another Republic Commando. I want to hang out with my clone boys again. So when the deal was struck with Star Wars for exclusivity, EA decided to bring the Battlefront name back to entice players and fans of the original into the world once again, with the recently released The Force Awakens movie of the same year, 2015. I'll talk about my feelings on the sequel trilogy one day, but that is for another time and another video. The first reboot of Battlefront received positive to mixed reviews. Famed Battlefront DICE Studio had taken the core elements from the original, however players noticed the split game types, and for all full retail price game with a gold edition, a lack of single player story felt a bit much. This was also where the industry was pushing for more multiplayer games only due to higher player retention rather than quality of the gameplay. Then, 2 years later, EA released Star Wars Battlefront 2. This was to be a vast improvement over the original, with updated graphics, more game modes, more characters to choose from, and a fully professionally acted, scripted Star Wars story telling the point of view of Stormtrooper Special Forces Iden Verso, which also had cameos from the main Star Wars characters like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. The story's single player also helped further explain plot holes in the sequel trilogy, like where Luke found the map to the island and how the First Order managed to grow in size so quickly. However, for all the good these new additions were, EA was going to, well, EA. If there's one thing that has truly changed the landscape of gaming with the 8th generation of gaming, is loot boxes and gambling mechanics, being coated in friendly yet often calculated and very nefarious ways to reward players for, well, paying more additional money on top of what they've already paid for to access the game itself. What has now become the most downvoted post in Reddit history, as players rightfully felt mugged by paying full price for a game and having to grind or purchase to get characters like Darth Vader. In short, the multiplayer was pay to win. This story became such a mainstream issue that it even lowered Disney's share price on the eve of their newest movie at the time, The Last Jedi. Again, another video for another time. Playing Battlefront 2 now in 2021 as the epic free game of the week, I have to say the story was serviceable and captured that sense of grand galactic scale of space war that we've all come to love from Star Wars. Iden Verso was a fine addition to the Star Wars lore, but of course you never really spend much time on the Empire's side before eventually switch to the Rebel Alliance. I was looking forward to a much more Empire-centric story, seeing the inner workings of the Empire, and some positives maybe that the Empire did bring, but hey, it is what we got. The raft of multiplayer modes is impressive. There's a standard capture the checkpoint to more unusual Ewok hunt, and then my personal favourite, the hero versus villains space battles. There's a co-op mode also, however I found these to be nothing more than class grinding as you try to capture the checkpoints while fending off hordes of AI enemies with 3 additional players. With its shaky launch, DICE and other EA studios that helped make Battlefront 2 have crafted what is essentially a greatest hits game of the Star Wars movies. I enjoyed my time with the game and will more than likely come back for a few rounds of the space battles from time to time. However, just like with so many game launches seen in recent years, the loot box issue is once again sorry we got caught. I'm pleased to see that Battlefront 2 is doing much better with its newly 19 million players from the Epic promotion, even after the final content drop. I'm not going to sit here and beat around it. I love Fallen Order. I'm a massive From Software fan dating all the way back to the Otogi games. Taking the Souls gameplay formula and slapping Star Wars paint on it was one of the most why hasn't this happened before moments that I've ever experienced. Jedi showed me exactly what EA could do with the Star Wars IP when it allowed its most talented to have a go at telling a compelling story with great characters in a great settings. And also, on top of that, great gameplay as well. Does Fallen Order have its issues, such as bugs, performance issues, and why does everyone magically respawn after I've just killed them after a Kel has had a little nap? Yeah, I don't get that one either. But overall, compared to the heights of the LucasArts Star Wars games, Jedi Fallen Order truly deserves to be up there with some of Star Wars' greatest. And I cannot wait for the sequel. Please be making a sequel. I love Jedi Fallen Order to bits. Now finally, Star Wars Squadrons. Developed by Motive, which also helped with Battlefront, Squadron took one of the best parts of Battlefront, the space battles, and repackaged it as a VR-centered experience with keyboard, mouse, and gamepad options. Squadron's story is largely forgettable, but where the game shines is in its edge-of-your-seat space fights. That is just thrilling in Battlefront 2, however with some changes to the pilot controls, customizations and multiplayer modes. I enjoyed Squadrons for what it was trying to do, but I have to admit I did find the story mode dragged on for about 1 or 2 levels too long and the gameplay got repetitive fighting AI. However, the multiplayer mode is where the game truly lies. Getting the best of another player by outmaneuvering a homing missile or hounding them through asteroids doesn't get old as quickly as the story mode does. With a raft of customization options and ways to personalize your style and different ships, even with altering loadouts as well, you can truly create and craft a multiplayer experience that is best fitting for you. Squadrons is honestly a worthwhile go, and you can more than likely pick it up in a Steam sale whenever they rolled around next. As for what's next for Star Wars, well, it's an interesting one. The license is now free to whoever wants to participate and whoever Lucasfilm Games wants to make Star Wars games for. And it doesn't just end at Star Wars, we also have Indiana Jones as well. But Ubisoft has also announced that they are the next to take up the mantle of Star Wars with an open world game. And considering that they've had a whole raft of open world games recently, such as the latest Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, I'm very much looking forward to this. For me personally, I would really love to have another go at 1313. I think being able to explore the metropolis city of Coruscant and really go into the underbelly and the inner workings of some of Star Wars' more questionable aspects, I think will be great to see, especially after the success of the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. There's also another rumour floating around that we might be getting a mainline Knights of the Old Republic. However, it won't be developed by the original studio, BioWare, as they're busy with Dragon Age and Mass Effect 4 and Anthem. Again, another video for another time. For me, if I had to have a choice, I would actually really like to see CD Projekt Red have a go at this. I know Cyberpunk 2077 rubbed a lot of players, rightfully so, right or wrong, the wrong way, but I think for the talent that studio has, and I think given the learnings which they have now learnt from what's happened with Cyberpunk 2077. I think giving a team like CD Red would Star Wars would be just an amazing thing to see, and it'd be a very different approach, I feel, than another EA studio. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you think EA did a good job with Star Wars? Did they make enough games, or did they not make enough? Do you think they utilised the right studios to do so? And what do we think about the Ubisoft game? Do we think that's just going to be climbing up towers and unlocking new areas of the map like every other Ubisoft open world game? And what do we think about Knights of the Old Republic? Do we think that a new KOTOR is on the way? And would you guys like to see a studio like CD Projekt Red handle it, or do you guys want somebody else, or think there are other studios out there who could? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, have fun, peace.